first things first, we gotta clean our tomatoes. So I've clogged this sink, plugged it up, and put all 12 pounds in here. Gonna rinse them well. And what we're gonna do is you're going to cut the tops off. And you're gonna cut them in half. And you're gonna kind of squeeze some of the liquid out, just gently. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing here. See the liquid? Because passata, you don't want some of this water. So I'm just gently, see that liquid? It's mostly water. What you want is all that pulp. And that's the nice thing about Roma tomatoes. They have a lot of flesh and not a lot of liquid. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna gently squeeze into this bowl over here, and then I'm throwing these halves in a pot waiting on the stove. Also, something to keep in mind, any blemishes, like for instance, there's a little rotten area right there. I'm going to cut that out, throw it in my bowl. So keep that in mind too as you're going through these. Found another blemish on the other side. Okay, we've got a big old pot, and this is where we've been throwing our gently squeezed out plum tomatoes that have been cut in half. We are on a medium-high heat, and for the 12-ish pounds of tomatoes that we've got, we're gonna do about 3 to 4 teaspoons of salt. For 20 pounds of tomatoes, it's more like 6 to 7 teaspoons of salt. This is a preservative. It's also going to help break down the tomatoes. We're going to cook these tomatoes. Let's get our salt in. We're not really cooking them. What we're doing is we're getting the skins. I'm gonna do 2, and I'm gonna try to stir this, and then I'll add the other 2. We're trying to get the skins to pull away and loosen up and get the pulp loosened and just get things nice and loose for when we put it through the machine. And we're just going to heat this on this medium-high heat until stuff's just gonna start to break up a little bit, and that the skins are gonna come off easy. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but this is really broken down, and we still have plenty of liquid, but the cool thing is that we also have a lot of pulp. And a lot of the skin has come off, or even on some of our larger ones, they're about to come off. It's been about 7 minutes on a high heat. You don't want to go too much longer, because the thing with passata is you have this really smooth, fresh tasting tomato. So the more you cook things, the more you're going to lose that freshness. So 7 minutes is all we're going to do. And now we're going to run it through a machine. We're going to be a little automated today versus old school Italian. I'm going to show. All right, we have an attachment food mill. It's quite a contraption that goes on our KitchenAid. And what happens is we're going to put our tomatoes in there, and what gets extruded is comes down here, and that's our puree. What comes out this way are our seeds and our skin. So we'll show you what that means. There's a couple other ways to do this. In my gnocchi positano, I talk about actually pureeing the tomatoes and running it through a sieve by hand. That's another way to do passata. That's a small amount of passata. There's also food mills that are more manual. And I've shown you those as well on various videos. If you want to check those out, check my different playlists on preserving tomatoes. Today we're going to be a little bit more automated. So we're going to take our tomatoes and start putting them through the top. So we've turned the machine on. We're puddling in our tomatoes, right there, we're ladling, I should say, our tomatoes up top. And you can see all the good stuff's going in the brick red bowl. Our seeds and our skins are going in the yellow bowl. Or not? That's all that gorgeous pulp. And these are all our seeds and skins. All right, we're getting to the end. We scraped the holes. And now we're going to take all of this and run it through one more time. There's still plenty to get out of that. And any Italian grandma will tell you, get as much out as you possibly can. So push it through one more time. We scraped the mill. There's our passata. That's what we had left out of 12.5 pounds of tomatoes. So we have extruded every last drop. Okay, so we're going to sterilize now our pint jars. We're going to do pints for this. So we're boiling our lids, our seals, and our jars in a rolling boil for about 10 minutes. Sterilizing. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. We're going to be pulling out our jars and our lids. We're going to drain them upside down, and then we're going to turn them right side up and start filling them. Okay, using these funnels, we are going to fill them till about, here's a 1/2 inch ish headspace. Now you're probably noticing, gosh, that's an awfully liquidy passata, and it is. It's definitely more liquidy than I usually get. It's up to you what you want to do. I could certainly have cooked this down to get some of the water out. And you can too. The thing is, you're going to change the flavor of your tomatoes. You can see this nice cherry red color. That's fresh. That's a fresh flavor. I would rather cook it down when I'm using it in my recipe, and that way it'll blend together better. But it's up to you. If you want a thicker passata, you can cook down the water. You know, even with us taking a lot of the water out of the tomatoes, we still had a lot of liquid this time. You can always try using a sieve with a kind of more, like the holes being a little bigger. Next step, clean your rims with a damp paper towel. And then use the dry half to dry. So just touching the sides, seal up the jars and put the rings on. And don't put the rings on super, super tight. They need a little bit of just a gentle tightness because they have to be able to expand and contract during the hot water bath and then the cool down. All right, with our jars sealed, they're gonna go in their little hot water bath. You wanna completely immerse them. and we're going to have them sit in here for about 45 minutes to make sure everything is good to go. All right, set the timer, baby. Okay, everybody, it's the next morning. We pulled these out a little late last night after 45 minutes in the hot water bath, and kind of wound down in the living room as we heard the popping of the tops. As you can see, they're indented down, which means they're sealed. If you ever have a top that gives with your finger, that means it's not sealed. That means put it in the fridge and use it quickly. So this is our passata, and yes, it's a little on the liquidy side, but that's okay. We'll cook it down in our sauces throughout the winter. So that's it. Fridays with Flora. Enjoy your tomato harvest this month, and maybe if the weather's good, into next month. You never know. Have a great weekend, and thanks for stopping by and watching this. And please subscribe to the channel. I could use all the support I could muster. Thanks a lot. Bye.